Don't turn a harlot into a housewife. This is an old saying, and it matters because it's the most important decision a man can make in his life. The woman that he chooses to wife up. And why, brother? I don't plan on getting married. Well, even if you don't plan on getting married, it still has a lot of significance in any long-term relationship that you want to get it. For lack of a better term. My point being, depending on this type of woman, these are the things that you have to look for when you're looking for a serious relationship long term, which I've learned over the years, it's something very hard to find, at least here in the USA, here in the West. It's ever since the 1960s. I've said this in previous videos. The dynamics between men and women have shifted so far that it's almost to the point where, actually it's not almost, it's already there, where we're like choosing just to not even bother with women in the USA, in the West, because they're too difficult and they got too high of a body count and things like that. Well, if men can do it, women can do it too. It doesn't work the same way. It doesn't work the same way. Like if a guy wants to choose to live that lifestyle, with getting in the whole hookup culture thing, it takes a lot more work. If you're a woman and you do that, it's practically no work at all. You just got to be physically present in the room, and that's it. That's it. And these types of women are not wife material. They're not long-term material. You can call me a misogynist all you want. They're not long-term material because the more partners that a woman has, it's going to be much more traumatizing and detrimental to her pair bonding. It's also the same with men, but it affects women far more. In society now, we're praised to have as many sexual partners as we want because it's liberating. It really boosts your social status. Like, how many girls did you get, type of thing. Over the past 50 years, they've tried to apply that over to women too, and that's why you see, pair bonding and relationships and marriage so screwed up in the West. Sorry, my cat. Get out of here. And my point being is that if men choose to marry, if you choose to marry in society in 2023, you have to look into a woman's history. You have to. You have to look into her past. You got to know, what dude she was with and, what she did. Because women care about a man's future. So, obviously, I think it's completely fair for a man to care about a woman's past. But a lot of women don't like to talk about their past. They don't like to talk about that. And even if you do ask them, they'll usually, they'll usually lie about it. Like, the amount of dudes that they've been with. Well, bro, I know this couple and that couple, and they've been happily married. Okay, the exception. Everyone always points to the exception. I'm talking about generalities here, okay? Generalities. Generally, women don't like to discuss that. They don't like to discuss it because, at least Western women. It's a touchy subject to them, and every man should look into that. Because unless you want to get divorced, and God knows, we men, we don't fear marriage. We fear divorce. We fear losing half our shit. We fear having to pay, a woman that we're no longer with for the rest of our lives. We fear a woman taking our children away and not letting us see them. It happens all the time in the West. It happens all the time in the United States. And it's a valid concern for any man. This is why, the opportunity, just to get a little personal, the opportunity has come up for me personally to get married throughout the years, and I've turned it down because I've seen the girls that did want to marry me as not wife material. Like, they had something going on where it was just too deep for me to take that step of marriage. Because we control who gets married and who doesn't. Women control who has sex and who doesn't. So, we each have our role. I don't know how it works with, people that aren't heterosexual. I don't know how that works. That's a something you probably shouldn't watch this video about because I don't know anything about that. But that side. But getting back to what I was talking about, we control who gets married and who doesn't. So because of that, I think that because 80% of divorces are filed by women in the United States, men have to be very, very particular with who we wife up. And so look into her history, dude. Make sure that she, is a traditional woman, for lack of a better term. A traditional woman. Well, Brolio, hold on. Well, Brolio, what about his past? Blah, 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 blah. Women don't really care that much about a man's past, They care about what's present and what's he going to be doing in the future. How much money does he make? Where's his career going? Is he living at mama's house or does he have his own place? That's something that women look for long term. So, obviously, because divorces are 80% filed by women, you don't want to end up in that position. You don't want to end up in that. Because God forbid, I've seen so many dudes go through that shit, man. So many dudes have gone through it. That I know personally without naming names. And yeah, I was on, just to add on to this video before I close out, I see it on like TikTok all the time. I see it on TikTok. I even see it on Instagram. Where I see these women that are complaining that they can't find a husband. Where have all the good men gone? That shit. And they're like 35, they're 40 and up. Oh, bro, you're 35. Once again, men age differently than women. Okay. We do. We completely do. And guess what? Since the beginning of human civilization, men are attracted to younger women. You know why? Because they're fertile, they're more, easygoing, and you can start a family with them. In my own personal opinion, the only reason to get married for a man is to start a legacy and to build a family. And marriage ain't about happiness, man. It's not about happiness. A lot of women believe that in the West, marriage is about happiness and all that. No, it's not. It's about honor and duty to your family. And growing up and being an adult. Feelings come and go all the time, man. They come and go all the time. That's why our grandmas and our great-grandmas and our great-grandfathers, their marriages lasted. That was the secret. They were adults. They knew feelings come and go. But modern women, at least in the West, once they're unhappy, I need a divorce. Or I want an open marriage. I'm getting a little bit off topic. Let me get back to what I'm saying. Because of this, men, you have to be careful with the women that you choose to be your wife. You have to. You have to make sure that she's a traditional woman. You have to make sure she has a low body count. You have to make sure that she has some, preferably in my own case, a Christian background, but some people aren't religious. In the absence of that, some sort of, moral ethics in her life, and that would be good wife material. She's submissive. She's nice. She's easy to get along with. She's feminine. She's submissive. Things that are considered luxury in the U.S. because that is hard to find, man. It's hard to find in the USA because of the feminist bullshit. But anyways, that's my rant and that's my advice to all the dudes that do consider marriage with a certain woman. Look into that, man. Anyways, Brawlio's out. Peace.